For an insightful idea that takes the center stage and the conversation that gets beyond the headlines, to explore the lasting impact of political decisions, Big Talk got you covered. From policy debates to geopolitical insights, from thought-provoking discussions to actionable insight.
What is the real responsibility of government?
Big Talk delves deep into the heart of the matter. Join us weekdays on global televisions from 6:30 p.m. for a reverting journey into the heart of politics, where we dissect issues shaping our society.
With every
from Nigeria's capital, Abuja, I am Uyag Mofwebe. The organized labor has kicked against the federal government, Federal Executive Council's decision to step down the memorandum on the report of the Tripartite Committee on New National Minimum Wage. Head of Public Relations of the Nigeria Labour Congress, Benson Upa, who criticized failure of the council to consider the memo during Tuesday's meeting, said stepping down the Tripartite Committee report creates what he termed room for injurious speculations. Minister of Information and International Orientation, Mohammed Idris, had told journalists after the council's meeting that the memorandum on the new national minimum wage was stepped down due to the need to allow for wider consultations between President Bola Tinubu, state governors, local government authorities, and the private sector. The federal government has provided states with human capital and logistics support across the 107 local government areas in 31 states where cholera cases have been reported. Director of Public Health at the Federal Ministry of Health and Social Welfare, Chukuma Ayaike, said the federal government is also creating awareness about the disease. The current outbreak of cholera has spread to 107 local government areas in the country, with 1,528 suspected cases and 53 deaths recorded from 31 states. President of the Senate, Godswill Akpabio, has said the Senate has not approved the purchase of new presidential jets for the use of President Bola Tinubu and Vice President Kashim Shettima. It is described as malicious, a report quoting him to have said the National Assembly would approve the purchase of new aircraft for the president and vice president, even in the face of the hardship in the country. The alleged report comes in the wake of the recommendation by the House of Representatives Committee on National Security and Intelligence to buy new aircraft for the president and the vice president, as the existing presidential jets are faulty and unsafe for use. Rivers State government has said it has found the suspect who detonated an explosive device near the state-owned presidential hotel during a pro-police protest in Port Harcourt yesterday. This came less than 24 hours after the state's Commissioner for Health, Dr. Adeiz Ore, had alerted management of both public and private medical facilities in the state on the identity of the suspects, injury signs, and the need to detain him if found. A neighbor recounts how the woman was abused. Members of the Academic Staff Union of Universities have staged protests nationwide and warned of impending strike if the government refused to act on agreements signed with the union. The union called off its last strike, which lasted 8 months, on October 14, 2022, after the National Industrial Court had ruled against it and following the interventions by the religious bodies and former Speaker of the House of Representatives, now Chief of Staff to the President, Femi Gbajabiamila. Oyo State government has opened a portal for the recruitment of 7,000 teachers for the state's public primary schools. Chairman of Oyo State Universal Basic Education Board, Dr. Nureni Adeniran, said the recruitment is part of the state government's bid to reduce unemployment among its citizenry. The portal, according to Adeniran, would register each candidate with their email, phone number, and national identification number, among other requirements, with a view to providing them with jobs suitable for them, either as teachers or caregivers. The House of Representatives Committee on Science Research Institutions has established an ad hoc committee to investigate the recent appointment of the Director Generals of the National Space Research Development Agency and Raw Material Research and Development Council. Chairman of the House Committee, Olaide Akinremi, said the investigation is seen as a move to ensure that the appointment process was merit-based and in the best interests of the agencies and country. Meanwhile, House of Representatives Committee on Public Assets has urged all government agencies to take proper ownership of all public-owned properties located in various areas of the country. Speaking at the resumed investigative hearing featuring several agencies under the Ministry of Information and Aviation, Chairman of the committee, Ademorin Kuye, lamented the deplorable state of some valuable properties in the country. The lawmaker said proper documentation and physical possession of the assets would go a long way in safeguarding such properties and save huge money for the government. The Federal High Court in Lagos has ordered the final forfeiture of the sum of $1.4 million linked to the immediate past governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, Godwin Emefiele. Justice Ayonkole Faji ordered the final forfeiture of the funds to the federal government following an application by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission. The anti-graft agency had earlier on May 29, 2014, secured an interim order temporarily forfeiting the money. Former Governor of Kaduna State, Nasir El-Rufai, has sued the State House of Assembly over claims that his administration embezzled 432 billion naira and left the state with significant debt obligations. The former governor filed a fundamental rights enforcement case against Kaduna State House of Assembly at the Federal High Court in Kaduna. El-Rufai, who appeared in person to file the lawsuit, alleged that the committee denied him a fair hearing. Let's take you to Nigeria Southwest now, where Lagos State Fire and Rescue Services has said plans are underway to install a centralized generator at Lagos Island Market to curb incessant market fire. Similarly, Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu has emphasized the importance of collective responsibility in preventing fire disasters. Speaking at the Lagos International Fire Safety Conference organized by the State Fire Service, the governor noted that the fire incidents in the state were often caused by careless behavior, urging traders on the market to take responsibility for their actions. Abia State government has said it would pay in tranches salary arrears owed workers in the state-owned higher institutions of learning. Commissioner for Finance, Mike Akbara, who stated this during a press conference in Umuahia, the state capital, expressed determination of the present administration to completely change the narrative of owing workers' salaries because a worker deserves their wages. You're watching News Cycle, coming to you live from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. We're on StarTimes channel 276. Kindly follow us on all social media platforms using our Global TV NG and other handles as you now see on your screen. When the news returns, in search of a coach for Super Eagles, Nigeria Football Federation, NFF, debunks report of contacting Hervé Renard. We have details of these and more stories for you right after this short break. We urge you not to go away.
Are you ready to be entertained like never before? Get ready to dive into the latest and greatest entertainment news in lifestyle, music, movies, birthday celebration, and so much more, all on Entertainment Circle on Global Television. From the hottest red carpet event to exclusive interviews with your favorite stars, we've got you covered. Stay up to date with the latest trends and news from the entertainment world, all in one place. Tune in every Saturday by 1 p.m. with Chung and Emil Joseph on Global Television.
In an ever-busy world, the increasing challenge of keeping track of health matters can be extremely demanding. Follow the latest health tips and trends on Health Guide on Global Television on Tuesday at 3 p.m. Health Guide on Global Television. Put your health first.
This is Global Television, bringing you a live broadcast of News Cycle with Uyag Mofwegwe. Thank you for your time with us. On the foreign scene, United States President Joe Biden has announced that he was correcting a historic wrong by pardoning military personnel convicted under a law banning homosexuality in the armed forces for decades. He said with the gesture, he was ensuring the culture of armed forces reflect the values to make America an exceptional nation. He stated that the decision specifically concerns Article 125 of the Code of Military Justice dating from 1951 and made obsolete by Congress in 2013. He says it made sodomy between consenting adults a crime punishable by court-martial. An official from the Maine Doctors Association has said death toll from protests in Kenya has climbed to 13 after anti-tax hike rallies turned violent and police opened fire at demonstrators who ransacked Parliament. The unprecedented scenes that left parts of Parliament ablaze and gutted and injured scores of people on Tuesday have shocked Kenyans and prompted President William Ruto's government to deploy the military. The mainly youth-led rallies began mostly peacefully last week, with thousands of demonstrators marching in the capital, Nairobi, and across the country against the tax increases. In a different development, the United States has said it has identified Nigeria as one of the most viable countries to promote chemical security for a safer world. Daniel Rochniak, Senior Director, American Chemical Council, stated this in Abuja at a workshop tagged Promoting Chemical Security for a Safer World. And now let's follow the money and business. The management of the Nigerian Education Loan Fund has announced a 14-day postponement of the application process for student loans for state institutions. According to a statement by the agency in Abuja, the development was due to low data submissions. NELFund said the decision was necessitated by the failure of several state-owned institutions to upload the required student data and fee information to its student verification system. He said till date, only a limited number of state-owned institutions have successfully completed the data submission process. This includes 20 state universities out of 48, 12 state colleges out of 54, and 2 state polytechnics out of 49. The federal government has declared that there is no importation of dirty fuel into Nigeria, countering the recent position of an official of the Dangote Petroleum Refinery. It declared this after a meeting with oil marketers and local refiners of crude oil in Abuja, where parties at the meeting discussed issues about refined products pricing, issues of competition, and the importation of products that are produced in Nigeria. Speaking through the Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority while reacting to claims of dirty fuel importation into the country, the government stated that refined petroleum products with high sulfur contents were last imported in February, stressing that these had since been addressed by the regulator. The Federal Executive Council has approved over $1.4 billion to procure arms, ammunition, and equipment for the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency. Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice Lateef Fagbemi told journalists after the Federal Executive Council meeting at the State House in Abuja that a new purchase is meant to boost the agency's anti-narcotics operations nationwide. Governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, Dr. Olayemi Cardoso, has said inflationary pressure has started dropping as a result of the central bank's policy measures, which aim to reduce the current inflation rates of 33.69%. This was as he revealed that the country recorded a total foreign exchange inflow of about $24 billion in the first quarter of 2024, which is about 50% above the inflows recorded in the previous quarters up to 2021. The governor also declared that the days of excessive naira volatility were over, highlighting the positive impact of the monetary policy tools employed by the Apex Bank to tackle the challenges facing the forex market. Away from Nigeria, the World Bank has provided $45.5 million to Nigeria's National Identity Management Commission, NIMC, as part of the Digital Identification for Development ID4D project. According to the World Bank's implementation report, the funds were disbursed in several tranches between December 2021 and April 2024, with disbursements still ongoing. The multilateral institution noted that it will enable people in Nigeria, especially marginalized groups, access welfare-enhancing services, stating that the project will also enhance the identity system's legal and technical safeguards to protect personal data and privacy. The initiative aims to increase the number of Nigerians enrolled in the National Identification Number System. Let's take you to the exciting world of sports now. Governor of Oyo State, Seyi Makinde, has said Confederation of African Football CAF club competition slots will be the major focus for Shooting Stars Sports Club in the 2024-2025 Nigeria Premier Football League season. The club's media stated that the governor expressed happiness over the performance of the Oluyole Warriors in the just concluded NPFL 2023-2024 season, where they finished fourth in the standings behind Enugu Rangers, Remo Stars, and Eyimba to marginally miss out on continental tickets. Phil Foden has temporarily left England's Euro 2024 base in Germany to return home due to what they call a pressing family matter. That's according to the English Football Association. Foden, who won Premier League Player of the Year accolades for his starring role in Manchester City's title triumph this season, has started all threats of England's games of the tournament so far. It remains to be seen whether the 24-year-old will be available for the Three Lions last 16 March on Sunday. The Nigeria Football Federation, NFF, has debunked reports claiming that it's established contact with Hervé Renard for the vacant Super Eagles coaching job. Reports emerged on Monday that the Federation had opened talks with the Frenchman to take charge of Nigeria's national team, the Super Eagles. And that's the full circle here on the news, and it came to you live from Nigeria's capital, Abuja, on Global Television. We're on Star Times channel 276. Kindly follow us across all social media platforms using our Global NG, TVNG, and other handles as you now see on your screen. I'm Uyagmo Fwegwe, thanking you for your time with us. Coming up shortly is Big Talk with Michael Edicon.